Existence of the Creator, whether he exists or not. I don't need the Quran, I don't need the Bible, I don't need Hinduism to know that there's the Creator. But energy is not conscious. Energy. But what's behind that energy? No. What's behind energy? If I want to create, sorry, my sister, would you agree that this bottle, right, it requires energy for this phone, bottle to exist? Okay, so what's behind that energy? Me. I'm behind that energy. I'm using that energy to create this bottle. That's exactly what I'm saying. But in Islamic theology, we don't use the word energy. We say Al-Qadir. Allah is all powerful. We don't call energy. Allah is all powerful. Sorry? So do you believe there's the Creator? The concept? The universe requires a Creator. Okay, that right. No. But nature itself didn't create. Nature itself doesn't create. No, it doesn't, because you know science. Science is the explanation of all the contingent things. So contingent. No. Science is the explanation of all the contingent things. You understand? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you. Lovely talking to you too. Take care. Allah bless you. Yeah.
Come speak to him. Alright, okay, sorry.
Do you want to continue or? Okay.
I find your point interesting, but
okay.
I either don't understand it or I disagree with it.
No, look. What we say is, as human beings, we are emotional and rational beings, correct? Right. So, the beauty about Islam is, Islam aligns your sound intellect with your natural inclination. That's the reason why the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said in a hadith that every child is born in a state of fitra, in a state of inclining towards believing there's the Creator, but his parents make him a Jew or a Christian, right? So from the fitra, everything that you see here, you know there has to be an originator. The ground, our own existence, the trees, the grass, everything, the universe, everything, you know there's a beginning. If I was to ask you, this bottle here, can you say this bottle come from nothing?
But you're saying no. So, like, say the thing that you said, if you drop a cup on the floor, is it going to become a frog by random?
Okay.
That's not how it works, right? That's not how it happens. It's not. That's what I was saying before. It's not an instantaneous. It's a process. It's not instantaneous.
So are you saying there's a possibility that if I drop this cup, it'll become a frog?
No, but I'm saying. Okay, let me use your example. I don't like your example, but I'll use your example.
No, why not? Why not? You say. Okay, go on. Sorry.
So you drop the cup on the floor.
Yeah.
Over thousands of years, that cup will degrade, and eventually one particle, one atom from that cup may end
It's all speculation. It's all speculation.
It's all speculation.
Let's talk about things that we are certain. Let's talk about things that we know.
What alternative in your mind? So you're saying that.
What's the speculation that I'm saying that everything that we experience, we know there's a beginning. And if there's a beginning, there has to be an explanation of why it begins. There has to be the Creator.
How is it any less likely that we evolved from randomness, that there was somebody in the
Let's understand evolution. Evolution basically means a transformation from one state to another.
Not necessarily.
Yes, it does. Is evolution
one state from another?
Okay, can I ask you a question? Right. Does evolution say nothing can pop into something? It doesn't say that. Evolution just says something into something. Not nothing into something. So we are addressing the origin, not the evolution. Please, I want you to understand that. Right? We're not talking about evolution. I'm talking
about evolution.
By the way, Charles,
origin of people.
Yeah.
We're talking about the origin of people specifically.
Origin of our existence.
Okay, so then, in that case, I need to look into this more, to be honest.
Okay, no problem. But you know from your natural inclination that everything that you see around here, you say there must be a Creator. There must be creative behind.
No, I disagree with that.
So you're saying this camera here, what, this pop from nothing?
Okay, no. Man-made things obviously were created by man. I'm saying everything.
So what's more complex, the man-made or nature, or the universe?
Nature. There's also been a huge space of time, and so there's the universe is potentially infinite, right?
Right. No, you're saying potentially infinite.
I'm sure you've heard this analogy before.
Yeah, I have.
If you get an infinite number of monkeys for an infinite amount of time, eventually, at a typewriter, eventually one of those monkeys will type out the.
Do you know what? You contradict yourself in your analogy, because you said infinite number. Hang on. Number.
Infinite amount.
Even amount. Okay, infinite meaning forever. Numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So
mathematical perspective.
exactly. So I'm asking okay. So infinity doesn't quantify.
No, infinity. You can't quantify infinity.
Exactly. So you cannot say infinite number or infinite amount.
Okay, no, but okay. If you get infinite monkeys,
No, not even monkeys.
why not?
Because
It can't happen in real life.
go on.
For the sake of the argument, if you were to get an infinite amount of monkeys,
You can't say amount.
you can say no.
You can't. Look, infinity has no numbers. Infinity is forever.
Infinity, yeah. So infinity is 1 going up to infinity.
No.
This is.
Okay, so where did the 1 come from? You said 1. Is that infinite? What came before 1? Do you know?
0.9.
No, it's self-contradiction.
So
It's
0.9 recurring, right? So that's
okay. Where did 0.09? But before 0.09, there's 0.08.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's.
It's a contradiction. It's a self.
You're going into like I can't explain it. You're going into extremely complex math.
No, I'm not, because when you say infinite amount, that's a paradox. It's like saying married bachelor. You can't be married and at the same time you're single. That's what you're saying. So infinity doesn't exist in the real world. It doesn't. It's just a concept.
It's just. So can I just?
It's an abstract. It doesn't exist.
It's like saying an actual infinite cannot exist.
Yeah.
A beginningless series of events is an actual infinite. So therefore, an actual infinite cannot exist.
Yeah, so take a circle, right?
One second, bear with me, hold on. So, as the brother mentioned, right, you cannot have, if you have an infinite line of soldiers, right, and the first soldier in the line said, fire to the last soldier in the line, would the information reach the last soldier in an infinite number of soldiers?
No, it takes, so the information is traveling for an infinite amount of time.
Thank you very much. So therefore, an actual infinite number of things cannot exist.
Cannot exist.
It's impossible.
Impossible.
It's impossible to say that the first soldier in that line would give the instruction to fire, and the last person in that actual infinite number of
Because you're
soldiers.
trying to assign infinity to tangible things.
No, what I'm saying is that it leads to mathematical contradiction.
Yeah. Correct.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a mathematical
Is that
contradiction.
It's impossible for an actual infinite number of things to exist.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is that
So in your mind, right, we have the universe. What is past the universe?
look, we know that the universe is expanding, right?
Into what?
Okay. Are you aware that the universe is expanding?
Yeah, but I'm asking, like, in your opinion, what is the universe expanding into?
Okay. For example, I'll give you a verse in the Quran, right? Allah says that He is expanding the universe, right?
Oh, sorry.
Now,
No, just for a second, Forget what the Quran says. What is the universe? Scientifically, right? Bear in mind, I'm not religious.
By the way, I don't postulate. I don't subscribe to the Big Bang. I don't particularly believe in the Big Bang. I know there's different cosmological models behind the Big Bang. There's cosmic inflation. There's the Big Crunch. I understand that, right? I don't. It's a theory. However, one thing I do agree is that the universe has its origin. It has a beginning.
Okay, sure. By the way, let me just go back.
That's
to
it.
this,
Okay, go on.
So you said the universe is expanding. What is the universe expanding into?
no, what I was trying.
If infinity cannot exist and the universe.
No, the reason why.
expanding,
No, the reason why I was bringing up the universe. The reason why I was bringing up an actual infinite number of things cannot exist is purely because it brings about a mathematical contradiction. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Bear with me. And the reason why I gave you that example earlier, right, that it's impossible for, and I gave you the example about a bow and arrow. A bow and arrow is unable to reach an infinite, it will traverse, it will literally travel at an infinite distance to reach the
again,
tree.
because
So
you're
therefore,
trying to assign infinity to something tangible. So just humour me and answer the question I asked, right? The universe is expanding.
Okay.
What is the universe expanding into?
okay, we know that the universe expands.
Okay, but into what? Into what? So say my hands right now, they're expanding into air. What is the universe expanding into?
Okay, if the universe was to contract,
Yeah, exactly.
would it come back to a singular point?
Yes, it will.
Right.
So it's going away from that singular point. What's beyond it? What is it going into?
That's what we want. We want to ask you. That's what we want. That's what we're discussing about.
What is that going into?
But you're going into evolution. That's exactly the point we're trying. That's it.
Going into
Good.
infinity.
Now we come to the point. So what came before the Big Bang? That's what we are.
know what came before. So
We do know.
Theories. Say, I know you don't believe in the Big Bang. But say Big Bang, Big Crunch. One theory is that
Go on.
Big Bang, it
Right.
expands, it contracts back into the Big Crunch.
Yes,
Big Bang
yes,
again, Big
yes.
Crunch, Big Bang, Big Crunch. And that's a cycle.
So
that
what
goes on,
caused
that
the
goes
spark?
on.
Okay, so if the universe expanded and it
Yeah.
contracts, what caused that to exist? What caused that to literally start to expand?
Yeah.
What is the origin of that?
How is the origin of the universe? We don't know the answer to that question, and I don't think it's right.
Let's use a sound
to say
reasoning.
What is the answer to that question? In my mind, that's you don't know the answer to a question, so you just say, okay.
No.
God. It's the same like dark matter is something in physics. We don't understand what that
Brother,
is.
what's your name?
Sorry,
Brother, what's your name?
Something that we don't understand.
Sorry, brother, what's your name? Sorry.
Yasha.
Yasha. Right, Han, nice to meet you, man. Look, let me tell you one thing, right? You saying that we don't know.
Yeah.
For me, this is a cop-out, and I'll tell you why. If I was to ask you the question, circular triangle, can you prove to me that does it exist, first of all? Circular triangle.
No.
Why not?
It's a triangle, a circle, it's a circle.
Okay, so what kind of scientific experiments did you conduct to come to the conclusion that triangular circle doesn't exist?
We haven't come to any science. No, it's the way we've assigned a certain shape to a triangle. We've assigned a certain shape as a circle.
Yeah.
We haven't tested either of them. It's what we.
You can't even test. It's impossible.
We don't need to test it because we've assigned.
No. According to
assigned it to them, we made it.
No. According to the scientific method, you cannot disprove or prove whether there is triangular circle. That's my whole point. So you have to use rationality, reasoning. So why don't we apply the same to the universe?
So you said my view was a cop-out. I actually think the same as that was because
Why?
I don't know the answer to the start of the universe, but the entire point of science, right?
Yeah.
Well, not the entire point of science, but a big thing in science is trying to find out.
How do you know that?
You're not trying to find out.
How
You said that you already know the
How do you know
answer.
triangular doesn't exist? How do you know triangular doesn't exist? What scientific experiments did you conduct? I think you do.
I genuinely don't understand.
Yasha, look. Why do you say that the triangle doesn't exist?
Because we've assigned this shape to a triangle, we've assigned this shape as a circle, right?
Okay.
We've assigned those names to those shapes.
Okay, so we conceptualize. I agree with that. We conceptualize that. I agree with that. But why is it not possible, even if you put it into probabilistic model, why is it not possible that it can exist? It's impossible. Why? Because it goes against sound reasoning. A triangle, sorry, 1 second. Yasha, look, 1 second. A triangle, what? You can't prove to me empirically that triangle circle doesn't exist. That's the whole point I'm making. You use your reasoning. That look, the reason why triangle circle doesn't exist is
The reason that you can't prove that empirically
I can.
is because it's impossible.
Exactly.
Empirical evidence means you need like.
But I can use empirical evidence for the existence of the creator. I'll give you one example. Look at the signs around you. Look at the signs around you. The trees, the universe, the stars, the planets. There's a powerful verse in the Quran. Allah says, "Inna fi khalqi samawati wal ard." That verily in the creation of the heavens and the earth, waqtilafi al-layli wan nahar, and in the alternation of night and day, it is a sign for those who understand. It is a sign. For example. Okay, this building. I'll tell you what. This building right here. Okay. Imagine if I say this building popped from nothing, it just existed itself. What would you say?
That's not my argument. I'm not saying that everything. It's not like there was nothing, right? And then. Bam,
No, we've already moved on. No, we've already moved on. But I'm asking you, that building, the cements, the rocks, all of the ingredients, it all came together.
The origins of those things, right?
The origin. Where did this come from? The building. Any child would say, "Oh, there must be a builder." It's your natural inclination. Right, so what about the universe that's far more complex? Look at the earth, look at the skies. What about the laws of physics? What about the laws of physics? Laws cannot pop from nothing. The law has to be given by a lawgiver. And you know that. You know that from your natural inclination. What you're doing is you're fighting against your natural inclination. That's what you're doing. And even in spite of that, even despite of that, even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you rational, decisive proofs. Am khuliqu min ghayri shay'in am humul khaliqun. Were they created from nothing? You know you cannot create from nothing. Or did they create themselves? That's impossible. Am khalaqu samawati wal ard. Did you create the heavens and the earth? Absolutely not, because you didn't exist. The universe existed way before you. But la yakunun, surely they're uncertain. When you suppress your belief in the existence of the creator, anything that you say is uncertain. But when you believe that there's the creator, you know the certainty. I exist, you know the certainty. Wallahi, this is a sign around you.
In my mind, the reason you think that's a certainty is because we've assigned religion to describe things that
I'm not even talking about religion. I'm not talking about religion.
We've used religion to explain things that we cannot explain.
No. You misunderstood the point. You misunderstood the point. The reason why I'm quoting from the Quran, I believe the Quran has the best arguments, rational proofs, decisive proof for the existence of the Creator. That, please understand this. That doesn't mean I'm trying to preach that the Quran is the word of God. I'm not saying that. But I'm using arguments from the Quran and the Sunnah, from the teachings of the Prophet. Right? That, look, how did the Quran 1400 years ago, this powerful argument that no one can refute, no one can refute. It's supposed to be rhetorical. Were you created from nothing? Of course not. Did you create yourself? Of course not. Did you create the heavens? Of course not. So what's the only option that is left? There has to be the Creator that always existed. No beginning, no end, that has the knowledge to bring the power, to bring the universe into existence. That must have the power to bring the universe into existence. And must have knowledge, wisdom, power. What you're doing right now, you're fighting against your natural inclination.
I disagree with that. So you're saying that nothing cannot create itself. Right? I agree with that.
Okay, good. Let's move on. Can it create itself?
No. But I disagree with the idea that there is a God that has used, like, the God. So
Good. Okay.
So hang on, what's the alternative? That's what I'm saying. What is the alternative in your mind? Are you saying that God creates something out of nothing?
Yes.
Nothing apart from God?
Yes, I agree with that. Because why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says?
But why can God create something out of nothing?
Because the Creator always existed. The Creator is all powerful. He can. No. We don't use the term infinite. We don't know. We don't say the Creator is infinite. What we say that the Creator always existed. Always existed, right? We don't use the term infinity. We don't.
Why can the Creator always exist but the universe can't always exist?
Because the universe has a beginning.
How do you know?
The Big Bang.
You said you don't believe in that.
No. But I'm saying according to good. No, I'm using. I'm using. No. You misunderstood. I'm going. So look. First of all, there's scientific evidence and you have rational evidence. Scientific evidence, according to cosmologists, they say that the universe has a beginning, which is the Big Bang. The rational evidence is everything we experience in the universe has a beginning. You know that. So how can the universe existed all the time? The tree is part of the universe. We're part of the universe.
Even the Big Bang itself, right? It does not say that there was nothing. It says the Big Bang theory is that the universe as it is now was casted into an extremely small space, and eventually it exploded. Right?
Okay, no problem. For the sake of argument. So that matter, So that matter, without any external force, without any external influence, can that matter bring into existence by itself? That's what the Quran is asking you.
But you're saying that there's always a God. I'm saying, why could that matter not have always been there in the same way?
But But I'm asking you that. Look, you see, science, the science, is the explanation of all the contingent things, all the physical things, right? You cannot go beyond that. You don't have to go into philosophy.
You said tangible things can't exist forever, so I'm going to come up with something intangible.
But I'm not saying God is tangible or intangible. We don't use that terminology. We don't use that. What we say that Almighty God, He is one and only, absolute, eternal, self-sufficient. He begets not, nor is He begotten. There's nothing unto Him.
He's not tangible.
No, I'm not. Look.
No.
We don't use in our theology. We don't use these terms. The reason why, because it's not affirmed in the Quran and the teachings of the Prophet. What we do say is that Allah is the originator. He's the originator of heavens and the earth. That the Creator, Al-Awwal wal-Akhir, He's the first and the last. Allah is Al-Qadir, He's all powerful. Allah is one and only. Allah is self-sufficient. He doesn't, meaning that everything depends upon Him, but He doesn't depend on anything.
I go back to the same point. Why can't the universe have existed?
Because everything that you experience in the universe, you know there's a beginning. This tree, you know there's a beginning. The grass, you know there's a beginning. I don't exist.
I'm talking about the universe itself.
But we are part of the universe. Of course. So
Allah's not part of this universe.
Allah is not part of the universe. No. Allah is above the heavens.
Everything that we know must have a beginning.
Yes.
But then you've just come up with something that doesn't have a beginning, and you're just like, right.
Okay, so you give me a solution how we can have beginning of existence forever. How? Prove to me. Let's look at your.
It's not something.
I can prove to you. I can. Let me give you.
You can use your religion.
No. I'm not. I'm going to use you. You're in existence. You yourself is a proof of God's existence. Imagine this. If I was to ask you, you came from, infinite ancestors. Infinite ancestors. Your parents, then your parents, your parents, then parents, and parents, parents. Right. Would you ever exist? Would you ever exist? Right. So your own existence, you have parents, right? You have grandparents. Can you have infinite? Or there has to be a stopping point?
No, you can't have infinite.
Thank you. There has to be a stopping point. So
Theory of evolution dictates that you start from a single-celled organism.
I'm not talking about evolution.
I'm talking about evolution.
No.
You are talking about evolution.
No, I'm not talking about evolution. I'm talking about our lineage, our ancestors.
But our lineage is directly, we evolved from different ancestors.
No.
We eventually became human.
No.
And became us.
No.
You are talking about
Even for the sake of argument, you say you evolved from monkeys. I don't believe in that.
Right,
okay, fine. Can you have infinite?
No. So before
Thank you.
monkeys,
So there has to be the first.
The first thing was a single-celled organism, and we do not know how that came into existence.
Thank you.
There's different theories.
Thank you.
There's different theories. So there's quantum fluctuation. There's a whole range of theories.
Science cannot explain. Science cannot explain.
Science cannot explain that.
No. Science can never.
Science is trying.
Science can never.
You may be wrong. But
No,
science is trying to explain.
Science can never.
You've got something intangible. You've got a religion. And you said this created it. You can't prove that.
Yasha, science can never ever explain how did the first cell come to existence. They can never. They can only explain the mechanism. They cannot give you the reason. They cannot.
So science.
Because science doesn't delve into metaphysical things. They only delve into things that is within the physical
You're
world.
speaking as though the first organism to ever exist occurred through metaphysical events. If that's
No.
If that's true, then you're right.
No. What I'm saying to you is you're saying that science can come to an explanation. How did the first cell come? But science doesn't.
If the first cell did not come through metaphysical means, then you can explain it through scientific means. If the first cell did come through metaphysical means, then you are correct. But my point is, we don't know whether the first cell came from metaphysical.
What does metaphysics mean? What does it mean?
I don't know. Beyond
Can science prove metaphysical? Yeah.
No. Beyond physics, metaphysics being like it was
Right.
created by
So
metaphysics
that's what I'm
outside
saying. That's what I'm saying.
So if the first organism in the world
Yes.
was created through metaphysical means, then yes, you are correct. Science cannot explain it. However,
That's it.
But the unknown. But if the first organism came into existence through scientific means,
He cannot. He cannot. No, he cannot. He cannot because there's wait. Hang on. Yasha. Because there's nothing before the first.
No. So
That's what I'm saying. So wait. Yasha. Look.
Do you know any
Look.
absolute truth?
We're talking about the origin. We're talking about the origin of the first matter. That's what we're asking you.
I know what you're saying, right? But it was the same when you were talking about infinity, right? You asked me questions related to maths that I don't understand. I don't know maths to that level.
I'm not. No. We've moved on. I asked you. Can you have infinite ancestors?
No. It's not that. Physics goes beyond what I understand, right? I
No.
don't understand. No. I don't understand certain branches of physics. I don't know enough. There's quantum level physics. There's string theory. There's a whole array.
So Yasha, with all due respect, what you're telling me is you're not certain about anything. That's what you're saying. You know what?
I'm not certain about anything. I'm saying I'm not certain as to our origin.
But do you acknowledge that you have an origin?
Of course.
Right. So you cannot say the universe always existed then, because it has an origin. It has a starting point.
I, as a person, had an origin. You cannot say that the universe always. I am not the universe. I am in the universe. Yes.
Yeah.
That does not mean that the universe had an origin in the same.
No. You are part of the universe. That's what I'm saying. Even the stars, don't they die? Don't they die? And then there's a birth, death, right? Right. So there's a beginning. Everything has a beginning in the universe. So I'm asking you, if there's a beginning, why does it exist? There has to be a will. So what we say is Almighty God willed for this universe to exist. Because it is nothing but potential existence.
You cannot prove the existence of a God. With this, I understand that you're never going to prove God. You have to believe in God, right?
No, I can prove to you God. Because the rational proofs. Look, think about this. The proof is, first of all, your own existence. Your own existence is a proof. Okay, prove to me gravity exists.
We don't understand gravity.
No.
There is a huge amount of things that we don't understand.
No. I'm not talking about whether you understand gravity or not. Do you acknowledge there is gravity?
So again, with gravity is extremely complicated. We do not.
No.
Yasha,
Yasha, please. Yasha, please. With all due respect, and I'm not here to interrogate you. You can. Ask a question. Thank you, Yasha. Look, what I'm asking you, I'm not talking about the complexity of the gravity. That's what I'm talking about. I'm saying, do you?
Something. So look, I can acknowledge that there's something keeping me on this ground, and we call that gravity.
Right.
However, I cannot say I know anything.
Can you see gravity?
No. I cannot say I know anything about gravity.
No, I'm not talking about. No. Yasha. I'm not talking. No, Yasha. No. Do you affirm that gravity exists?
I affirm that again, there is something keeping me down to this gravity.
No. I'm not talking about beyond gravity. I'm asking you, do you believe in gravity?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. So, but you say that you cannot see gravity, correct?
Yes.
We can only see the effects of gravity. Right. So the effects or the signs of God's of the existence of God is around us.
But we don't
That's exactly the
like
point.
I said, we do not understand gravity in the same way we don't understand whether or not there's a...
Do you know why we don't understand gravity? Because we have limited senses. Yeah, we have limited observation.
We have limited senses,
Right.
but we also have limited information.
Yeah, of course, I agree with you.
know enough.
I agree with you. I agree with you, which is the reason.
The more we know, the more we will
Yeah.
understand things
Yeah.
like gravity. However, gravity is something very, very real to us.
Yeah,
It's keeping us on this planet. You're saying, and
which is the reason why you can. Yeah,
this conversation that I'm having to you, it's not even related to Islam. It's literally
I know.
arguing against all religions.
I know that. I'm not even talking about Islam. We're talking about whether there's the creator or not.
So going into whether Islam is the right religion or not, that's a whole other debate. But as it stands, I don't think you can compare gravity to a god. Yes, we can't see either of them. Yes, we see.
No, but I'm using your yardstick. If you believe that gravity exists and you cannot see gravity, but the effects, why can't you apply the same to the creator then? Why do we need to see the creator to know if the creator exists? Why can't we postulate that the creator exists by just looking at our own creation around us?
Gravity, I don't like.
That's a good point.
So I do need to look into
No,
this.
absolutely.
But I'd say the same. Gravity is something very, very, very poorly understood by us right now. Right? We know very, very little about
I know. I agree with you. I agree.
Gravity, therefore, is the name that we have given to something that we don't fully understand.
I agree.
We have given the name gravity to the force that keeps us down.
Okay, let's talk about the mechanism. Okay, so you agree there's a mechanism.
That's what I was saying earlier. God,
Yeah.
It's just a name that we've given to something that we don't
I'm not talking about the name.
Religion is a way
I'm talking about the concept. Forget about the name. Look. Forget about Allah. Forget about Allah. Forget about Elohim. That's the name. I'm talking about the concept, the attributes. Look. We as Muslims, we believe that Allah has 99 names and attributes that's affirmed in the Quran and the teachings of the Prophet, right? We affirm that. One of his attributes that he's the creator, Al-Khaliq. One of his attributes is Al-Khabir, that he's all aware. One of his attributes is Al-Qadir, he's all powerful. One of his attributes is all knowing. So that's what I'm trying to postulate here, that the universe cannot exist unless somebody willed for this universe to exist. Somebody must have the knowledge to bring the universe to existence. Somebody have the power. So look at this bottle, for example.
No.
You.
What you? No, wait a minute. Bro.
He's coming late. He's coming late.
Yeah. I have come late, but I understand the gist of what you're saying.
Yeah.
To compare gravity and to say that because you believe in gravity and you can't see it,
Yeah.
then there's somehow a parallel.
It's a
between-
false
Let me
analogy.
finish.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's a false analogy.
Yeah, but I'm
The
using
thing
his
is-
standard. I'm using his yardstick,
But
not me.
that's fine. And
I
you're
don't
right-
use science.
You're right to say that we don't know, and you're right, we don't know. We don't know. I don't know how the universe started. We have some theories, and we're sort of getting there. Science has got somewhere with all of this, but we haven't got all the answers, and that's fine. But we're trying to find more answers.
Exactly. So my point is, why would you deny the existence of God? Wait, hang on.
that's what
Why,
I'm saying, you
no,
can't
sorry.
be atheist.
How can you deny? I know, but are you an atheist?
I am, yes.
He's an atheist. So how can you deny the existence of God when we're talking about a being that is beyond the universe? You
But
cannot
I
use
don't- I
science.
don't believe it exists, you see. You have faith.
No,
I
but
don't.
hang on.
I have faith. There's no proof. You say this is proof of God.
Yes, this is
For
all
me,
proof.
It doesn't. No, I don't see that.
So
step.
when you see a camel passing by the desert, and when you see there's a footsteps, what? There's not proof that there's a camel.
I don't.
What? This just came by itself from nothing. I mean, come on.
There has to be an explanation.
I mean, his
as to
position is
why
much
we're
more
here.
logical than yours, with all due respect.
But I don't accept
Because
your analysis.
atheism is an unnatural state.
I can't. I mean, to say that my views
It's
are
an unnatural
realistic,
state.
Given, I mean, I don't believe.
Do you believe-
You can't belittle people because they don't believe.
No, I'm not belittling.
I don't see your evidence.
Can something come from nothing? Can something come from nothing?
I didn't say this. I've already
No, I'm asking you.
conceded.
Can something come from nothing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Can that something create itself?
Science may have an explanation.
No, I'm asking you,
We've
can-
got the Big Bang and we're looking
No,
at it.
I'm asking you.
You go back to this
I'm asking you.
original thing.
No, I'm
It's
asking
got
you.
to be a God.
I'm asking you.
I don't. The burden of
Who
proof is
said?
not on me.
Who said about?
We're not saying God.
We're not saying God.
It's
We're talking about the concept.
That's what I'm saying. But let's explain. You believe in a God. This is at the crux.
What?
of
Which
we're
God?
talking
I mean,
about.
Christians believe in
Right.
God. I don't believe in the
Of
same God
course.
as Christians.
No,
I don't believe the same God as
That's why I'm
Hinduism.
not saying any particular God. I'm just saying you believe in a supreme.
No, your
something
ego can be
higher.
your God. Your ego, your desires can be God. So you have to be more specific. I'll explain to you what Islam teaches about God. Who is God?
I don't want to know what Islam says. I've heard.
Just take care of yourself then. Then you're not genuine. Then take care of yourself. So we can carry on. Look, Yasha, look. Think about this, right? You're an agnostic, and I think that's a more logical position to hold than the gentleman here. Yeah, absolutely. What I'm saying to you is, if there is something that is behind the universe that brought this into existence, that something must possess knowledge, must possess consciousness.
If there is something. If there is something, then...
So there is nothing.
By saying there is something, right, at that point you have already acknowledged that there is a God. I'm not saying that's true. I'm saying that I consider that as a possibility, but I also consider the possibility that... Like,
let's say this is the first matter.
Again, so
okay, go on.
I said this before.
Go on, Yasha.
Understand your counter-argument to it.
Okay.
Why could the universe not have existed for an infinite amount of time?
Because infinity doesn't exist in the real world.
But again, I don't.
Infinity doesn't exist.
I don't accept, with all due respect, I do not accept that as a valid argument because you've gone. Infinity does not exist in the real world, so I'm going to have this thing which is not in the real world, and therefore it can be infinite.
But you don't know what's beyond that. So how can you then say, oh, it's impossible? You can't say that. I can. Do you know why? Because I'm using my sound reasoning. Look. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, Yasha. Yeah. If I say to you that I existed before my mother, what would you say to me?
Say you're wrong.
Why am I wrong?
Because you cannot. Your mother birthed you.
Prove to me.
Prove to you that your mother birthed you.
No. I'm asking you. Prove to me why my claim is illogical and irrational.
Because you came out of your mother.
Okay. So what did you use here? Did you use science? Did you use scientific proofs? Or did you use your rationality and reasoning? Come on, let's be honest. Forget about them. Come on. Come on. Can I exist before my biological mother? You said no. I asked you, why is my claim irrational?
Because you cannot come before your mother. Your mother was here, but you came from your
And did you use scientific experiments to come to that conclusion?
I don't need to use science. That's a very
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Basic. You're talking
Thank you.
You're talking about the universe. The universe.
No. I'm saying with sound reasoning, you know that everything that we experience has an originator behind. Wait. For example, even this bottle has its origin. It has a starting point. You have a starting point, right? Now, if the universe always existed, then there's no need for the creator.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you prove to me within the universe that it existed forever?
No.
Anything. So what reasons are you using to say the universe always...
Anything. So say let's go down to individual atoms, right?
Okay.
How can you prove that the atoms were not there forever?
Because good. Because we can see in the stars that there's a beginning and there's an end.
No. Because stars are made of the same atoms. When a star
That's what I'm saying. So I'm using the stars.
No. When a star ends, it becomes an iron core. They're still made up of the same atoms. Those atoms are just dispersed throughout the universe. They still exist. The atoms themselves are still there.
Yeah, but it has a starting point.
No. The star has a starting point. The atom does not.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It still has a starting point. It doesn't matter.
There before the star. The atom.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
The star died. The atom.
No. Who told you the atom always existed?
Okay, so no, that was wrong. Yeah, I can't say.
That's exactly the point. So I'm asking. No.
I'm saying why
no,
that's.
Look. I'm not a pure scientist. Like I don't purely go by science, right? I use my intuition, my natural inclination, and my sound reasoning to come to conclusion, right? Let me complete. But can I ask you? Okay, can we agree that there is something behind the universe? Can we agree that? Okay, so you say that nothing cannot bring into something. Okay, we ruled that out. So would you say that there must be something? Forget about God, forget about the creator, but there must be something.
Outside of the universe.
Outside the universe.
Because I don't know whether the universe is infinite. I'm saying the universe could be infinite.
So show me anything in the universe that's infinite.
I can't. I'm saying like atoms. We do not know if atoms are infinite or not. That is my example. Atoms. Prove to me that atoms are not infinite.
Prove to you that atoms are not infinite because it has a beginning.
How do you know?
Because the first matter brought into existence. It didn't exist at one point.
An atom?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because I know. Because look, you're made up of atom. Did you always exist?
So are you? No.
No. Yasha.
The atoms that I am currently.
No, you never. No.
The atoms that I am currently made of.
You didn't.
Were at one point in the star.
No.
Or at one point in a meteor.
You look. You are made up of atoms and elements, right? And you have a beginning. How can you then say that atom always existed? This is illogical. Because you have a beginning. You're made up of atoms.
The atoms that I consist of.
So look, even this. Look, Yasha, look at this bottle. Look at this bottle. Look at this bottle. Are you saying?
I understand, but the atoms in this bottle and the atoms that I consist of, they did not materialize when this bottle materialized.
It doesn't matter if it's materialized or not. It has an origin.
The atoms.
Give me one scientist. Give me one scientist that says atoms always existed. I challenge you.
No, I can't. I'm saying I don't know.
No, I challenge you. No, you're using science. You're not using rationality. You're using scientific method. So I want you to name a scientist where they say that the atom always existed.
Listen, I'm not saying atoms always existed.
You did.
I'm saying, no, I said prove that they didn't.
Okay. You know what?
And you said.
Good. I'm going to use the quote from Imam al-Ghazali. Imam al-Ghazali, he used this quote. He said, to go into great lengths for things that are already clear only obscures them. It's clear. Because if you delve into things that's already clear, it only makes you confusion. So I don't need to prove to you that.
Accepting is simplistic.
Okay, do you exist? Do you exist?
Yes.
Prove to me.
I can't prove to you as I.
Why? Because it's self-evident. There are something that's called it's called anecdotal evidence. You yourself.
Anecdotal evidence means that, like, empirical evidence, anecdotal evidence. Empirical evidence, right, is evidence that you gather through experience. If you have not experienced God,
Is that an invalid? Is that an invalid method?
No.
Okay, so I'm using empirical method. I am.
You cannot.
Like gravity.
Empirical evidence.
Like gravity.
There's no empirical evidence that gravity exists. There's empirical.
So why do you believe in gravity?
There is empirical evidence that there is something.
No. Yasha.
We've called that gravity. We do not understand.
Yasha. If you're saying there's no empirical evidence for gravity, then what other method did you apply to know that gravity exists? No. I'm asking you. If you postulate, if you already agree that gravity exists, and there is no empirical method, there's no empirical evidence, then what other means did you come to conclusion that gravity exists?
Gravity is not something that we've tested as. It's not something that is like. It's not necessarily a physical thing. We don't understand gravity.
No.
There is something keeping us down to the ground,
and that's called gravity. No, look, Yasha, I think you're misunderstanding the point. I'm not talking about, please explain to me the mechanism behind gravity. I'm not asking. I'm asking you the existence. What other means of method did you use to come to conclusion that gravity exists apart from empirical method? That's what I'm asking you. Because you're telling me there's no empirical evidence for the existence of gravity. Okay, fine. But you believe gravity exists. So what other means did you use?
Gravity exists because there is no better explanation to why I'm currently.
So that's philosophical. So that's reasoning. So I'm asking you, why can't you reason the existence of the universe? That's what I'm asking you.
So with the existence, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm agnostic and I'm not religious. I'm saying.
Yeah, so let's use our reason.
There could be a God, but there may not be a God. And I don't see how you have said there is definitely.
Okay, let me define to you who we believe to be God. Okay? We don't believe. No, we don't.
Sorry.
That's a very vague term. No problem. Look, to a certain extent, I reject gods. Yeah, I reject the concept of God in Hinduism. I don't believe there's many gods. I don't believe in idols and statues, right? Because the idols were created in the hands of us. And yet you're telling me this idol can help us? It's ridiculous. I don't believe in the concept of God in Judaism because they attribute to God with deficiencies. They say that God rested on the seventh day, it has to be refreshed. I don't believe in that. What I do believe is Allah, there's a chapter in the Quran which is called Surah Al-Ikhlas. It says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say He's Allah, one and only. Not one in three, not one in two. No, one, sorry, if I can just finish, one and only. Allahu samad. Allah, the self-sufficient. The one whom everyone depends upon, but He doesn't depend on anyone. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He begets not, nor is He begotten. Yeah, He doesn't have father, He doesn't have children, right? And He was not born because He always existed. There's nothing like unto Him. So in Islam, we have no representation of God. We don't give God to images or carved statues. Why? Because we don't know how God looks like. However, we affirm His existence. That is the concept of God I'm talking about. Don't get confused with Christianity and Judaism. Do you have any problem with that definition of God?
Yes.
Why?
This is a big issue that I have with religion in general. Because in my mind, there's two ways that you can interpret religion. You can interpret religion literally, which is what you do, or you can use religion metaphorically. So when I used to be Christian, right?
Okay.
I would never interpret Christianity literally. I never believed that there was a literal God in the kingdom. I always interpreted metaphorically, the reason that
Yeah.
God has physical attributes in those religions.
What do you mean physical attributes? What do you mean by that?
Physical limitations, like he rested on the seventh day, whatever, right?
Okay.
It's because they are stories that are made for us to live our lives by. They're like morals. It's like the Bible is a book of morals, essentially. That's the way I view it. There's different ways of viewing it,
Okay.
and you can view it literally. You view the Quran literally, as far as I'm aware. I believe that there is literally like everything.
The verbatim words of God, yes.
Everything
Allah.
that is said in the Quran literally happened.
Yes.
That, in my mind, goes directly against what's been scientifically proven already.
No, not necessarily, because you can't use scientific method to prove or disprove God. That's the whole point.
Exactly, no, but there are certain
That's the
things
whole
like
point.
evolution. That is, in my mind, a much better explanation.
No.
of how
See,
we came about
no. We're not
was
talking
spoken
about.
by God.
No. Evolution. You're already assuming that something already existed. That's what evolution is. Evolution is just an explanation of transforming from something into something. But I'm asking.
Tell you how the first organism came into fruition.
Right. So okay, fine. So let's use.
How you can tell
Right.
me that God.
But let's use our sound reasoning. Let's use proofs.
But you keep saying sound reasoning again. Like, just listen to what I'm saying, right?
Okay, go on.
I do not understand how you telling me a God caused the first single-celled organism to exist. I don't understand how that's any more rational than saying it came.
But just like you said, but hang on. In my opinion, that's double standards, because you just told me that I do affirm gravity exists, but we don't know too much about the mechanism. So why do you expect me to know everything about God?
I don't expect you to know.
No, I affirm God's existence, but I'm asking you, rationally, logically speaking, using our sound reasoning and the universal knowledge that we all know, you see here, this tree has a beginning. You have a beginning, right? Now, if everything has a beginning, there must be an originator behind.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No.
Let's agree to disagree. Okay, cool. Now speak, Yasha, man. Go on, man. Speak to you. Take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sorry? No problem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, I hope you're doing well, inshallah. So this was a long discussion, long conversation. I don't particularly like long conversation, but I felt like the discussion was going somewhere until it came to a breaking point. We spoke to an agnostic who's not sure if there is God or not. So we gave him the arguments from the Quran, the fitrah. Everyone has the natural inclination to know that there is the creator, right? And that there's a powerful argument in the Quran that, you weren't created from nothing, you didn't create yourself. So the only logical, rational explanation that we have is there must be the creator that always existed. However, he goes into evolution, all of that. Evolution doesn't disprove or prove the existence of God, because evolution already assumes that something already exists. But I'm not talking about evolution, I'm talking about the origin behind. So that's what myself and Hamza are trying to address. I don't think Yasha understood, but we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide him to Islam. Ameen. And we ask Allah azza wa jal to accept our da'wah and to forgive any mistakes that we made and to purify intentions. Ameen. Jazakallah khair for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Do you want to say to anything? Okay then, cool. Barakallah fi. Ameen wa iyak. That's it, man.
One thing, brother, whenever you use mic, you have to remove this one because it will make
The noise.
Sorry. Keeping it. Yes.
Apologize.
No.
Because you don't know yourself. Yes, I